Inside Tennis with the Cause is brought to you by Firkins Automotive. Find it at Firkins.
Hi, tennis fans. The Cause here with another half hour inside the world of tennis. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Incredible deals are waiting for you at Firkins during the Chrysler Pacifica Incredible Sales Event. Save thousands on new Chryslers, including the all-new Pacifica Hybrid. Right now, drive a new 2018 Pacifica for just $279 a month. Expect more, save more. Find it at Firkins. Your summer season pass from interest and payments is at Firkins Mitsubishi. Right now, get 0% APR on new Mitsubishis, including the hot-selling 2018 Outlander. Plus, for a limited time, make no payments till September. Expect more, save more. Find it at Firkins.
Hey, I'm Sasha Zverev, and you're Inside Tennis with the Cause.
Hi, tennis fans. Terrific as always to be with you. Hope that you have been enjoying the French Open. We've got a special edition today on Inside Tennis with the Cause, with a visit to USGA National Campus and tennis at the Special Olympics, and a sit-down interview with the oldest living PGA professional. At 106 years old, Gus Andrian. So let's get it launched with Special Olympic tennis at the USTA National Campus. Tim, what a fascinating last 15 months of the National Campus. And here we are on a highlighted day. I can't keep up with it, but I believe you can. What's going on today?
I'm not sure I can keep up with it either, but I think this is why the National Campus was built. This is an example of why, for us to have Special Olympics as our backdrop and to have the president of the USPTA
John Embry himself
out there tossing balls to these Special Olympic kids on this side, some of the best Special Olympics players competing on the other side of our collegiate center. There's probably 200 people in this area alone, but then move over, 100 yards over into the Hartz Room. We're hosting 400 players in the over 55 sectional championships. And then next to them, we have an L2 event with 128 boys and girls of the top 16-year-olds in the country here. And then go over to our family zone where we have 16 of the smaller courts, and we have 100 kids out there learning to play the game. And it doesn't stop there. Go over to the player development section, and we got some of the best pros out on the red clay training for the French Open. So I think this is a culmination of why the campus was built, to bring all these different participants into one spot and to have them interact and to motivate each other and inspire us.
Absolutely. Once again, Tim, thanks for your time today and your enthusiasm for growing the sport of tennis. Great to catch up with you.
Thanks, Kaz. Thanks for coming, and we want to see you more out here.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
John Embry, Executive Director of the USPTA. My gosh, are you a tennis coach at heart?
I'm having a great
time. Good coaching out there.
Great time. It's great.
John, what's it mean for you and for the USPTA to be involved with a Special Olympic activity today at the National Campus? Your home.
It is our home, and we want to participate in all the activities that come here to the National Campus. Last time I did a Special Olympics was the International Games in 1983 in Louisiana at Baton Rouge at LSU. 50,000 adults, 3,000 athletes. It was an incredible experience. I'll never forget it. It was so motivating. And we as an association need to do more of this kind of stuff. So I'm delighted to be participating in this, having a blast with the kids, losing my voice, but having a great time.
I hear. Well, let's top it off, because the last time we saw one another, it was in Flushing with Acing Autism.
Right.
You can't get
Richard.
away from outreach charity
That's right.
tennis.
Our pros do such a great job around the country doing charitable functions for kids with special needs, and this is just one example of the many things that we do around the country. So we're delighted to be here.
What's this tennis mean to everybody today?
It means so much to them and so much to us. They practice all the time, and they don't care what medal they get. They just love to have fun.
Getting medals, a whole lot. I like it very much. It's fun. I have a good coach.
Hey, Michael, you have a lot of fans out here and a lot of friends. What does tennis mean to you?
A win.
You know how to win.
First place and goal.
All right. Well, Michael, here are your two coaches, Coach Laura, Coach Judy. How exciting is this as a coach being here?
Oh, it's so exciting. We're so happy.
We love bringing Michael to State Olympics. He loves coming. It's the most exciting thing for him all year. It's like, I'm going to state. I'm going to state. I'm going to get a medal. Right, Michael?
Yeah. I love it now.
My second gold medal from tennis. This is great. First of all, I want to say thank you to the Lord Jesus Christ, because if it weren't for him, I would never make it here successfully, and my mom and dad would be really proud of me if they hear this. And
I love tennis.
Awesome. It's totally awesome. I like coming here every weekend to come here. When I play tennis, I get 10 points. I do Special Olympics for every Saturday because that's what I do.
tennis is beautiful.
Tennis is good, and tennis is a good sport. And we have to make a job.
What's the mix between Special Olympics and tennis? How good is our sport of tennis for the participants?
It's a lifelong sport. Let's just take away intellectual and physical disabilities and concentrate on the athletic prowess. Tennis makes it unbelievably lifelong, and it matures the sport naturally, just like golf and some other sports naturally matures with our athletes. It's extremely therapeutic.
It's amazing. The collaboration is off the chain for something, this event that is so special, and in our hearts and in our minds, everybody just enjoys being involved. It's something as special as the Special Olympics. All you have to do is see their faces, to see their smiles, and to be involved in this. It is tremendously important for them, and to be recognized as athletes is beyond belief. It's fantastic.
One of the participants, Ryan Smith. Exciting times ahead for this young man. He just took the first two legs of the USPTA test, passed them both with respectable grades.
This is so exciting for the USPTA to have maybe our first autistic certified USPTA professional. So we are so supportive of Ryan, 100%, and we're hoping for great things from Ryan and giving him complete support on our side.
To me, this is why we exist, honestly. We're here to grow tennis, and we're here to make it available to everybody. So coming out here and seeing the athletes playing at every single level is what we're all about. And the unified play in particular, where you have Special Olympics athletes playing with everyday players, is pretty magical to watch. So it's great. It's the most inspirational thing we probably do all year long.
Special Olympics is my favorite event that I've ever done. These athletes work just as hard as our top juniors, but they come and they compete hard and they have fun. They are excited to play tennis. They are excited to be around other athletes, and they are excited to be with our volunteers.
Well, hello, Brittany. Hi there, Ryan. Great to see you both. Here we are at the state games with the Special Olympics. You are about to play the feature match of the tournament. You were going to play one another because she is so good. She can't play with the girls. You got to play with the men. My question is, are you disappointed it's raining, or are you kind of glad you don't have to play one another?
I'm kind of glad we don't have to play one another, because it's always very stressful and just a crazy thing when we have to play against each other.
We know the relationship that you have off the court. What is the relationship, Brittany, like on the court?
It's like, you know...
You try to beat him even though he's your fiancé?
I try to beat him no matter whatever it takes.
Now, I've had the pleasure and the joy of seeing you play mixed doubles. How much fun is it for the two of you to go out and play in mixed doubles in a competitive situation?
Oh my gosh, we love that so much. We'd rather, and in fact, cause we'd rather play doubles together than play singles against each other.
I can see that. You're an all-court player. What part of your game are you still working on to take you to that next level?
I'm working on the mental, aspect of it, not being so nervous. Just playing like the best, of my abilities.
Hey, tennis fans, you want to put some joy into your life? Come spend some time with Brittany and with Ryan and challenge them to a mixed doubles match. Great to see you, Ryan.
Thank you. Great to see you too, cuz.
Thank you, and it's great to see you too.
Firkins family, you've been with them from day one. They've been promoting tennis from day one, Nick Bollettieri.
Well, I think they help with a lot of local events.
Incredible deals are waiting for you at Firkins during the Chrysler Pacifica Incredible Sales Event. Save thousands on new Chryslers, including the all-new Pacifica Hybrid. Right now, drive a new 2018 Pacifica for just $279 a month. Expect more, save more. Find it at Firkins. Your summer season pass from interest and payments is at Firkins Mitsubishi. Right now, get 0% APR on new Mitsubishis, including the hot-selling 2018 Outlander. Plus, for a limited time, make no payments till September. Expect more, save more. Find it at Firkins.
Hi, I'm James Blake. You're Inside Tennis with the Cause.
Tennis fans, thanks for staying with us. And now for the coolest 106-year-old athlete, PGA professional Gus Adrian. Well, Gus Adrian, I can't tell you how much of an honor this is to have a tennis guy, a tennis junkie, tennis professional, tennis broadcaster, interviewing the oldest and most respected PGA golf professional out there. Gus, in advance, thanks for your time today. There's so many things to talk about in your life, so many accomplishments. Where do we start? I don't know. Let's start in the beginning. How did you get into the game of golf? Who got you started?
I started a caddy at St. Clair Country Club. We used to walk about 5 miles to get up there. So finally we got up here and we learned how to be a caddy. So we had, that's how I got started in golf, being a caddy.
And that was back in Pennsylvania. But you were a very unique, you're a highly sought after caddy because you had holes in your shoes. Explain that.
Back in those days, we got a big hefty sum for caddying for 60 cents a round. And this one doctor come out in the evening and all the caddies wanted to go home. I did too, but I happened to be one that stayed there a little longer than others. And so I used to get him in the evening for 9 holes. And I had holes on the bottom of my shoe, and I know he couldn't see very well, and he only wanted to play 9 holes. He wanted to get in early, and I did too. So knowing he couldn't see very well, I had holes in my shoe. I'd pick his ball up with my foot.
No, really?
And I'd walk it 30 yards and then lay it down. Hey, I'm hitting that ball a little long tonight. Yes, you are, Doc. You're doing very well.
You're a smart young man back then. As a young man, as a kid, what did playing golf mean to you, Gus?
I just come along with the game of golf and grew up with it and learned a lot from the people I caddied for. And why I wanted none but the best golfers, because being interested in golf, I wanted to get the best swing I could get, and I wanted to get the best golfers, and that's how I learned to play golf.
All right, back in 1935, you give your first golf lesson. What were you telling people back then about their golf game that you still tell them now? Because I know you can't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere in town in Sarasota without people asking about a golf swing. So what were you saying then that you're still saying now, Gus?
Well, I'll tell you, each person you teach is a little different. So you have to adjust your teaching to the person you're teaching. Or you try to impress on them the importance of practice. Practice makes perfect. And you always work on a weak part of your game, and every part is important. And if you have a weakness in your game, that's the part you want to work on.
You are the oldest, most respected PGA golf professional out there. All the young PGA guys, they seek you out. Gus, what can you tell us that will make us better young teaching professionals? What do you tell these young PGA pros?
You take your student, and you have to try to sum up what this man is capable of doing with a golf swing, because each person is different, and some people can come along and be a better golfer because they're physically fit for that, but the others are not. So you got to make sure that that what you're teaching them is something that they can do physically, and you have to let them know that there's a limit to how far they can go, because after all, everyone likes to be a good golfer, but they're not physically set for that. So that kind of limits just how far they can go in golf. But you want them to enjoy the game, and everyone's going to have a bad shot here and there. The main thing is to forget that one bad shot you missed. The most important shot you're going to hit next is the one coming up. The one you missed is gone. You can't do a thing about it. Forget it.
Guess what, Gus? That tip can apply not only to golf, to our game of tennis. Great advice. Great tip, Gus. Thank you. You made a contribution to my golf game and my tennis game also. Talking about contributions, in your estimation, who have been some of the golfers to make the greatest contribution to your game of golf?
Well, I named 5, in my opinion. Walter Hagen, he's the first man who went to the front door. The pros used to have to come in the back door back then. But when Walter Hagen, always coming in late, he always never dressed for golf. He'd be out enjoying the night before, and when he came in, he had a game with Prince Charles. So he come in the front door with his golf clothes. He wanted to change to play golf with him, and he tried to come in the door, and the man in said, "Hey, you have to come in the back door." And when Prince Charles being in there, he said, "You come in the front door." And that's the first day. Walter Hagen's a man going in the front door of the game for the golf professionals. It raised the level of their respect for the pros. But the man they have to thank for all this is Prince Charles. He's the man that opened the door for all the golf pros going through the front door and getting the respect that they have today. Now, Gene Sarazen, he's the man that made it possible for golf getting exposure to the Charles' Wonderful World of Golf. Gene Sarazen is the man that got that start. He got right here in Sarasota. And the third one is Ben Hogan. Ben Hogan has made practice so important. He practiced day and night, and when he'd go home in his room, in a hotel room, wherever he was, he never let a second go by that he didn't practice some part of his game. So he made practice important to the golf pros. Now comes Gary Player. Gary Player made him the part of being physically fit, a very important part of who you are today. He made physical conditioning very important. And now comes Arnie Palmer. Arnie Palmer is a man who made the fans so important, because without fans, you don't have the sponsors. And he got the fans out. He called what Arnie's armor. Of course, now that's not the only part. His game spoke for itself. As what he's done for golf, he raised the level of what they play for today, and they call him the king. And he earned the title of king. It's what he does for the game on the golf course, and he does many things off the golf course also, which contributes a lot to the result of the game of golf. And all the pros today all have a special program because Arnie Palmer set the idea of doing something for others besides playing golf.
Gus, there have been changes in the game of tennis, changes in the game of golf, changes that you like.
The thing I like about the game of golf is the level at which they score today. The equipment change, the clubs, the golf balls, those two important things that they made today. And of course now the golf courses have also gone through changes because they manicure the golf courses a little different than what we had back in those days. When we had a rough, you got off the fairways back in those days, you hunted for the golf ball. The grass was so high. When they said rough, it was rough. But today they cut it down to a level where you can use the wood in the rough. Today they've changed that. Now they're scoring better because of that. A challenge of a golf course is not what it used to be when I was back in those days, and I'm going back in the 30s when the golf courses were not as manicured as they are today. all the equipment has a lot to do with how far they hit the golf ball. There's quite a few changes in the equipment. Very big change.
Indeed. Gus, you continued to shoot your age in golf up to a year ago. You still work out physically on your game. You do it in the pool. You practice your golf swing in the pool?
Yes.
Underwater?
Yes.
Wow.
I get against the side of a pool, and I'll swing back and forth, swinging through water, and trying to get the swing. And I get resistance from the water, but I'll do that about 30 or 40 times in the pool. And I kind of feel that gives me a little exercise that I like because it has something to do with my game of golf.
Gus, you were recently honored with the highest level of honor from France. You received the Order of Legion honor for serving in World War II. You served with General George Patton. What will those years always mean to you?
Well, anybody who's been in service and they've been through where you've been part of the whole action that goes with being in war, you never forget your buddies, and you never forget all the things you come through. You're lucky to get through what you did without being the result of a fatal end. And that's because not only yourself, but someone higher than you was watching over you. Enemy has just knocked out 4 tanks. And we now are on foot, approaching this little town. And up on the hill was the emplacement of these guns that knocked out the tanks. And I also had snipers up there. And we walked up there and walked into town. And I came into a house, looked at me, it was about three stories high. Well, they watched me going upstairs. They saw me going up there. So they waited until I got to the top step, the top floor, and they hit that area with a gun, with one of those shells. I thought they blew my ears out. I couldn't hear for 2 weeks, and I have an hearing impairment. So one of those was from that action there, and I'm here talking about it. And I come reeling dazed downstairs because of that shell just affected me that much at that point. It hit so close to me. I just couldn't believe that you could go through, a human being, go through that force of the shell, explosive power that it had there, and still here talking about it. That's just one of the things.
Very impactful golf. Recently, just within 2 years ago, you shot your 8th hole in one. Now, when do you know it's going in that hole? When the ball leaves your golf club, when you sight it, the flights of the ball, or don't you know until it finally drops in, Gus?
You really don't know. Having a hole in one is luck, pure luck. No skill. You hit the ball towards the hole on the par threes. If it goes in, it's in. But believe me, it's luck. It is not skill. Skill is coming heading towards the pin, but going in the hole is a matter of luck.
Let's talk about one of your most lucky days. Back in the year 1983, you buy a lottery ticket in Pennsylvania. The next thing you know, you're getting $1,000 a week for life. Right now, you've picked up $1.3 million, Gus. Will you ever forget that day?
No, I'll never forget that day, because when that day came, I was in Harrisburg, and he said, now we're going to draw the one that wins the side of the week for life. So they happened to draw my number on the 8th one, and I was watching, I was there, and there I am. And they said, now don't forget to pick your $10,000 check up before you leave. And who do you think forgot to pick up their check before they leave? I did.
No.
But I went back and got it. We'll give it the whole thing. I said, no. I said, I'll keep $1,000 a week.
Gus, you have not shared this passion of golf alone. Your beautiful wife, Betty, loves this game as much as you. You share this passion for golf together. All of a sudden, Betty's passion for golf is displayed in the movies on the big screen. She's in Caddyshack. She's in the pool, and something's floating by the pool there. Tell us the rest of that story. This is very exciting. That was your club down in Plantation?
Plantation, that's where I played. But she managed the golf shop there, and that's why she became in the scene. So as a result, why she's the one, I was not there at the time. So it was afterwards I heard, like everyone else, what happened. So we saw her coming out on the pool, and we keep talking about her being in the scene. She came out when the candy bar was found, and they drained the pool, and Betty was part of that.
I remember. What's it been like sharing your passion for golf with the man that you're passionate about right now? This guy, Gus, is okay, isn't he?
Yes. Well, my dad gave me golf lessons since I was 8 years old, and he passed away, and I wanted free golf lessons, and Gus came along. Free golf lessons.
For life.
For life.
And here you are in Sarasota with the Cos doing a golf interview on a tennis TV talk show. Gus, what an honor you just gave me today and our audience. Golfer, tennis player, we are proud of this guy. Thank you, Gus.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here and airing out all my experiences that I went through life here. And talking to this man here is something that I enjoyed very much.
Not as much as I did. Let's keep alive our love of golf and tennis together.
Yeah, I'll endorse that. Let me tell you, a century goes faster than you think.
Tennis fans, great to have you with us on Inside Tennis with the Cos. We love our sponsors, and you will too. Stop by and see them. Until then, remember, in tennis scoring, love means nothing, but love of the game means everything. Keep alive your love of the game. Love you, tennis fans, and we'll see you right here every Saturday, 12:30 on SNN.
Inside Tennis with the Cos has been brought to you by Firkins Automotive. Find it at Firkins.
At Firkins Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, expect more. And during the Jeep Celebration event, you can expect to get more savings on new Jeeps, like a new 2018 Jeep Compass Latitude. Just $99 a month, $99 a month. Expect more, save more. Find it at Firkins.